Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel, I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, well, I hope that this week has been treating you guys well. We are back again with another weekly check-in. For those of you who may be new to my channel, this is where I track all of my non-cash purchases from the previous week, just to kind of hold myself accountable for my spending. And then also just to make sure that we are paying the bank back from the binders and envelopes that we cash pull from. Or cash pool for. So just to offer like a little bit more of an in-depth explanation, my husband and I keep most of our bills and expense money in the bank, and then everything else, our sinking funds, we do cash pool for and cash stuff in these envelopes and binders. And so in the event that I need to make a purchase with my debit card or online for a category in our budget that we actually cash pull for, I have to pull the cash out of here and return it to the bank. And the only way to make sure that I am checking in on that is to check my bank account, use my expense tracker. These are available for purchase, digital download in my shop, which is linked in the description box below. And so then once I do all of that tracking and checking, I return the cash to the bank so that I can make sure that we are not overdrawing our account. Because that would be bad. In order to facilitate that though, if you're new to cash stuffing or zero-based budgeting in general, it's usually helpful to have a buffer in your checking account or your bank account or whatever method you use. And that will just kind of act as protection from overdraw in the event that you do it this way as well, where you cash pull for certain things that you may be making online or debit purchases with. So, now that we have gotten through that explanation, we are going to go ahead and just get stuck into the actual expense tracking portion of the video. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys zoomed in and then we'll start. Okay, so because I hate to be wasteful, I am going to be starting on the bottom of this sheet here. This is just leftover purchases from last week that I've tracked, but let's just go ahead and get right into tracking everything. So first up was a debit purchase on the 16th of June, and it was at Starbucks. And this was actually for my husband. He had to get up super early in the morning and didn't have the desire to make himself breakfast that early. So he just popped into Starbucks to, see, I can't talk and write at the same time, evidently. He popped into Starbucks to go ahead and get himself a coffee and a meal. And so this is coming from work food. I understand, this could theoretically be pulled from dine out or work food, but we went with work food because it was a work-related purchase technically. So that's why we said that. So it was a total of $16.18. And this one is going to have to be paid back to the bank. Next up was also a debit purchase, and it was on the 16th, and it was at Kroger. And we got some steaks for Father's Day. So that's what this was. So this one comes from grocery, and the total was $50.82. And okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into just a little mini explanation because it's just going to kind of set up the explanation for all of the grocery purchases in this video. We knew that I would be having some overage in my paycheck for my second paycheck of June. Right? Yes, my second paycheck of June. And so what we decided to do was to go a little ham with our grocery purchases, and like knowing that this money was going to be in there and we could be paying it back that way. And so instead of paying back the cash to my bank account from all of the grocery purchases that you see in this video, we just went ahead. We didn't even cash pool for that. We just left it in the bank and they offset each other. So that's why you won't see me put a little asterisk over here for any of the grocery purchases in this particular weekly check-in, because that's kind of how we worked it out in our budget. That's the beauty of budgeting is, you know, if you do have an event where you have overage or you have an unplanned expense or something like that, really kind of thinking about, okay, how are we going to handle these purchases when they come in every now and then? This is just one of the ways where we do that, where we have a little bit of wiggle room in our budget, because I am an hourly wage earner. And that means that if I work overtime or if I work an extra shift, or, you know, I get time and a half on a holiday or something like that, we can then play around with what we do with that overage. And so that was what ended up happening here. So we allowed ourselves the wiggle room in the budget to have a little bit more fun with groceries, as opposed to just like, let's get the food that we eat that sustains us. It was like, let's celebrate Father's Day with some yummy steaks. And so that's what we did this time around. So you'll see that kind of throughout this video as well. We definitely popped over on groceries here and there. All right, next up was also a debit purchase, and it was on the 20th. And I'm going to put coffee because this is a local tiny chain. And so, you know, don't want to out myself there. This also is going to come from work food. And it was $6.50. And I do have to pay this back to the bank. And I'm going to just put an arrow next to this so that I know that these are the purchases from here down that I have to look at. But let's go ahead and get over to our next expense tracking sheet and make sure you guys are in frame. You are. All right, it's June. All right, so next up was also a debit purchase, and it was on it hit on the 20th. I don't think it actually happened on the 20th, but that's when it hit. And I'm just going to put beach because this is the local lake beach that we take our kids to. And again, not wanting to out my location for a little bit of privacy and anonymity. This one comes from Family Fun. And this is one of the reasons why we said we were going to be putting more money. I don't know if you saw my budget with me that I posted at the beginning of the month. We are going to be allotting a little bit more money toward Family Fun just for the summer months, because we do like to do these fun outdoor activities with our kids during times like this. So it's just a $20 charge to get into this beach. You can stay there all day from open to close, and it really is worth the price for the fun that we all have together. So it's a good one. Let me know if you guys do anything like that. Like where I'm originally from, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. I'm actually originally from Delaware. I am not a native Texan. And I miss our beaches so much in the state of Delaware. Like, I just miss like the salt water, because there really is a difference. I am not poo-pooing on those of you who prefer lakes or rivers or whatever. I'm a saltwater beach girl myself. And we have a state park beach in Delaware. If you guys are ever in Delaware, I think it's called Tower Road Ocean, and it's a state park run beach. And they have, you pay one fee to park for the entire day. And then you can stay there the entire day. They have showers on site. They have a concession on site. And because it's state park, like it's under the state park maintenance, it is maintained really well. It is a carry-in, carry-out beach. Like you have to make sure that you bring a trash bag with you and take your trash out with you, because there are no trash cans anywhere. But trust me when I tell you, it keeps the beach so clean. So that is one that I definitely miss, because it's also nice if you wanted to go into some of the other like more hopping beach towns like Rehoboth or Dewey or Bethany for like dinner after the beach, and you're just there for the day, because this is what happens when you live in a small state, by the way. You can just pop down to the beach for the day and then just go back home. That's what we used to do when we were kids. you can take a nice shower, go out to eat, and then drive home. So it's a really, really lovely, lovely beach. So if you're in Delaware, Tower Road Ocean, I promise you will not regret it. And then pop into Rehoboth later that night for dinner because they have lots of great restaurants there. So anyway, really long story for why, we pull this from Family Fun, but I am such a beach girl, like such a beach girl. So you guys will have to tell me if you're beach folks too, or if you prefer like, hiking and cabins and all that kind of stuff. I love to hear what everybody else is into. All right, little sip of my coffee there. All right, next up is Trader Joe's. To be perfectly frank with you, I don't even remember why I made this purchase because it's like $30. So that's not my usual like grocery shopping trip. Obviously, if you've been following my channel, you know that $30.57 is not a grocery trip for me. So I don't remember what this was, but like I said to you, we took my paycheck overage and put it toward all of our grocery overage just because I think we got like ice cream or something. I mean, not just ice cream. That's insane for just ice cream, but it was like something like that. Like we popped in and got some like snacky things. And anyways, so that was that. And I'm sorry. I have to pay this one back to the bank, but I don't have to pay the grocery ones back to the bank. Next up, you've been waiting for it. I know it. I know you've been waiting. Target. We saw it coming. I'm crossing out the category section here because unless you're new to my channel and you don't know, my Target trips always break down into multiple categories. So this one is no different. It was a purchase of $83.23. And let's go ahead and get into the categories. So we have home decor. We have toiletries. And we have groceries. So home decor was $34.99. That has to be paid back to the bank. Toiletries was $12.46. And that has to be paid back to the bank. And then the grocery portion of it was $35.78. And this one we are not paying back to the bank, because again, it falls under that grocery overage that we allotted with my paycheck. So this one, I think my husband bought himself some wine for Father's Day also. So that's what I mean. It was just like one of those things. By the way, if you're a fan of red, look for Cooper and Thief. It is a delicious, delicious red wine. I'll see if I can pop a picture up here for you guys just so that you can see it. But we love it. And so that was like most of this grocery purchase actually. And next up, all right, look, we're gonna ignore the fact that we just have several Target purchases. This is another Target purchase. And when did this one hit? This one was on the 21st. And this one is also a couple of categories. Whoops, that was not a straight line. It was $123.09. This was like our traditional like grocery Target trip. This one was not, but this one was. So this is just Target. For those of you who don't know, I have a Target line item in our budget category for groceries that I purchased specifically from Target because I use the red card, and so that money just stays in the bank. Then we had toiletries. This is like a big toiletries week. And then, it was just Target and toiletries. There we go. So this was $107.09. And then the toiletry was $16. And the toiletry purchase has to be paid back to the bank. Next up was an online purchase actually from Biossance. And if you're not new, you've heard me talk about them before. This is my favorite skincare company. Like hands down, bar none. It's clean, it's high quality. The products do exactly what they tell you they're going to do. I love them so much. This is also coming from Toiletries, and it was $44.82. And this was awesome because they were offering 25% off for their Clean Crew, which I'm a member of. It's like if you spend a certain amount of money on their website, you're part of you're like inducted into the Clean Crew. And then you get all kinds of deals and coupons and things like that. And I needed to get some more face wash from them. And so then because I was getting 25% off, I also bought their squalane oil, which is great. It's a great body oil. It doesn't leave your skin feeling greasy. It's very moisturizing and hydrating. I love it so much. So I purchased that. Yeah. So my face soap, my body oil, and then I got another, this straw is actually from them. It's a copper straw. I don't know if it's actually copper, but I take another sip of my coffee there. I don't know if it's actually copper, but anyway, the long and short of it is that, I bought another straw just because I like having them, and I wanted to get up to a certain dollar amount so that I could get like free samples or whatever. And so then in addition to the 25% off that I got for being a Clean Crew member, I also had enough points to get $25 off of my order. And so that's another reason why I just love shopping with them, because they always run sales and deals like this. So if you're ever paying full price from them, you're just not doing it right, because they make it so that you don't have to ever pay full price from them. So anyway, steps down off of soapbox to justify this purchase. And it wasn't really even a soapbox, but you know, anyways. Next up is a debit purchase. It also hit on the 22nd, and this was actually from Amazon. And this is one, so we just kind of floated it in home decor, even though I'm not pulling any money to pay this back to the bank, and I'll explain why in just a minute. But essentially, we factored in one of my Etsy paychecks to cover this purchase. I bought some folding chairs to bring to our pool with us because the lounge chairs go really quickly there. Like they get, occupied very quickly at our pool. And I asked if I could bring foldable lounging chairs, and they said yes. So I purchased some, and so we are floating this with one of my Etsy paychecks. And so that's why it's not really home decor, but we just kind of shoved it in that category because my husband keeps a spreadsheet of all of this kind of stuff too. And so he just needed a category to put it in. And then whenever that Etsy paycheck, we'll just cover this portion of it. So that's why I don't have to pay it back to the bank, because the money is already in the bank. So I'm not going to pull it out just to put it back again. Next up, it also hit on the 22nd. And it was Starbucks. We actually were at the pool this day and got rained out. And so as a little I'm sorry that your pool day got rained out for my kids, I took them into Starbucks to get them their favorite little snacks. So it was $15 that I just reloaded my card. I'm really struggling with English today, you guys. I reloaded my card with, and we're pulling that from Family Fun, and that does have to go back to the bank. Actually these next two are both Amazon. They were made in the same purchase, but they shipped them separately. And so they showed up, on my bank register separately, which is also super annoying, by the way. I hate that Amazon does that. So these were both toiletries. I told you it was a heavy toiletries week. And so this one was $6.38 and this one was $10.81. And these do have to be paid back to the bank. But we'll chat about this too, because there's a little something going on with our toiletries as well. So anyways, last up We all knew I was going to be interrupted at some point in this video, so that just happened. Okay, so then last up, and actually this one I forgot to bump up earlier because it happened on the 20th. And I'm just going to put coffee again because it's the little local shop that's near my work and it's coming from Work Food. And it was a total of $15.20. I bought myself and my coworker some coffee. And that is it for the weekly check-in. So we will just go, well, I mean, it's not it for the weekly check-in. I'm gonna grab a calculator, add up the purchases to make sure that I know what kind of cash we are going to be returning to the bank, and I will zoom you guys back out in order to get that started. Okay, so I just remembered I'm not gonna add up the money. I know that's a little risky. Usually what I do is I add up all of the purchases that I'm gonna have to return the cash back to the bank. So that I make sure, like, you're just cross-referencing and making sure that you actually have the money that you think that you're supposed to have to take back to the bank. But I do know that I'm going to be shy in a few of these envelopes. This is a practice that I always caution people. If you're new to cash budgeting and cash stuffing and you are trying to establish discipline for yourself for like controlling your spending, maybe don't go about things the way that I'm about to tell you. But I know that I'm shy in some of these envelopes in order to pay the bank back fully. But we were going to be stuffing some of these envelopes this week. And so it offsets the money that I am short in the envelopes because the money is sitting in my bank account waiting for me to pull it out right now anyway. So again, if you're trying to discipline your spending and, get it under control, maybe don't go about doing this. My husband and I are pretty secure in the system that we have now. We've been doing this for a little while. We feel very confident in the way that we're doing it. And so we don't feel uncomfortable doing this every now and then. And in fact, if you've watched my last 3 weekly check-ins, you'll see that we have done this here and there as well. So it's not like an area of budgetary concern because we're still spending within the confines of what we have allotted ourselves for the month. It's just they're not always covered by what we have in the envelopes at the time. So now that I've gotten that disclaimer out of the way, let's just start. I'm going to start from the very beginning. And so that means I'm going to be going back and forth in between the envelopes and the binders a lot, but I want to make sure that I am really triple checking to make sure that I at least pull out all of the money that I'm going to need from each envelope so that I don't miss anything, if that makes sense. So since the first purchase was Work Food, and I know that I have a couple of Work Food purchases, I am going to really quickly just double check those. So, and for those of you who may not know, so this purchase was $16.18. I round the change up to the next dollar and just pay a full $17 back to the bank. So when I'm trying to figure out how much money I'm paying back, that's what I do. That change serves as a buffer in our bank account. And we do sometimes spend that buffer, but if we, it's rare. So anyway, let me go ahead and get this added up. So we've got the $17 here, and then this $6.50 down here. So that was $7. And then let me check any other categories where I have Work Food. Okay, so $15.20. So that's going to be another $16. So all total, I'm going to be pulling $40 from Work Food, and Work Food is in low priority sinking funds. Dine out, work meals. Okay, I was interrupted again. Anyway, so what I was saying was I'm pulling 40 from work meals. By the way, all of my envelopes are for sale in my Etsy shop, linked below. Lots of different varieties and finishes and fonts and things like that. So do check that out if you're in the market. I do love my envelopes. And so this is going to be an area where we are just going to stuff less in Work Food in my next cash stuffing because I only have 35 in work meals. So, I didn't pull out my cash tray. Anyway, I'll just put that money off to the side for now. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off this work food, and then work food here. And then I have made a note already in what I'm going to be pulling for my next cash stuffing to pull $5 less. So that's another way of doing it. Like if you know you're going to be paying or stuffing an envelope in your next cash stuffing, you could just stuff it less to kind of offset the difference in what you owe the bank versus what you're actually taking to the bank, if that helps. That's just kind of how my husband and I do it when this happens every now and then. So that's actually it for that first page. And then next up is in Family Fun. I know that I have 2 of those too. And I think Family Fun is also low priority. My dashboards are also available for sale in my shop as well. And I actually just had an order for, I had an order for 4 of them this week, 2 different orders of 2. So I love making them and I love seeing what you guys, title your dashboards and title your envelopes. One of my favorite envelope categories so far has been Life Happens, because I was like, oh, that's just clever. That's like a fun way of naming a category, like, emergency or accidents or, whatever. I just thought that was really cute. Anyway, okay, so let's pop over. I think Family Fun's at the back. And it's going to be $20 from this one and then $15 from this. So $35 from Family Fun. I love it when I have exact change. So $35 from Family Fun. All right. Let me just go ahead and put a check mark next to these so that I know that they have been paid. And then we will move down to the next category. So home decor, I think I just call it home in here. And it's also low priority. Here we go. And I don't know that we have the full 35 in here, but I am supposed to be stuffing this. Yeah. So it's 30. So I'm going to just go ahead and cross this one off. So next up is going to be toiletries. And this one was one where I said we really had like some toiletry purchases this week. Okay, so nothing from that sheet. And I think I already mentioned that. So let me just go ahead and add all of these up. So this one's going to be 13, 16, 45, 7, and 11. So wait, that doesn't sound right. 132? Is that right? Let me try that again. 92. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit more. Now this is another one where I know that I don't have all of the money in the envelope. Oh wait, it's in high priority. I know that I don't have enough money in the envelope to cover it, but my husband and I made up for the difference with the overage in my check. Because I did have pretty decent overage, which was very nice. It was welcome. Okay, here we go. Toiletries, I do have, let's see, 20, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So I have 50. So I'm short $42. We knew that. My husband and I have already kind of like done all of the math on this one. Oh, I don't know why I'm sitting here organizing the cash yet. So we do know, like, we've already accounted for all of this. So we're not gonna overdraw our bank account or anything like that. It's not a concern of ours. So anyways, oh, that's it. Okay, here we go. So let me just double check all of my asterisks have been paid back. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, wonderful. So let's go ahead and count this cash. I'm going to see how much we're actually returning to the bank today. First, I have to organize it because I am not one of these people who can just like kind of do that kind of math. We all know that I struggle to just do the math when everything is all in order and nice and neat looking. So can you imagine me trying to just add up the bills as they went? Absolutely not. All right, so we are going to be taking back 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 20, 35, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So 150. Is that right? 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 20, 35, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Yep, $150. So that is what we are taking back to the bank today. All right. So that is the end of this weekly check-in. I am sorry if this was confusing to any of you who may be new to cash budgeting or zero-based budgeting, and this particular method this week confused you. Please don't hesitate to ask me questions in the comments. I want to be able to help everybody who, may be kind of confused by this, or maybe just kind of getting stuck into budgeting in this way, and make it as streamlined and easy for you to understand as possible, because I understand it's frustrating if you're trying to learn and somebody like me is like throwing off the methodology. So feel free to yell at me in the comments. I'm not scared. And ask me any questions that you want. As far as just a little bit of like info for you guys for upcoming content. So the end of the month is always fun in the budgeting community because, we're reconciling accounts. We're talking about our budget for the next month. Some of you are doing bill condensing videos, which thank you for doing those, by the way. They're so fun for me to watch. They're like cathartic. It's like ASMR. Anyway, I love them. As far as my channel goes, you can be looking forward to next week is going to be my first ever business binder, like Etsy, YouTube cash stuffing. So I'm very, very excited for that because it's an entire video dedicated essentially to how supportive you guys are of me and my channel. And please know that it does not go unnoticed. It does not go unappreciated. I'm so grateful for all of you. We'll get into that more in that video. So that's going to be coming next week. So it'll be like a little bonus video. I have my usual cash stuffing that's going to be around on Monday. So, don't worry, that's going to be a normal one. My budget with me for July is going to be coming up. And then big news in our Q2 debt confession update. So this is going to be like over the next couple of weeks, but I'm just giving you guys a little bit of, a preview. I guess so. A preview of what's to come. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video and spending some time here with me today. Don't forget to tell me about if you're a beach girl, if you're a lake girl or guy. I know I have some fellas who watch my channel too. Thank you guys so much for joining in with us here. This is a largely female community, and I think it's so fun whenever guys participate in the comments and hang out here too as well. I just think it's so great. So men budget too. It just is what it is. So thank you guys for hanging out with me here today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would love it if you joined our fam here. And then I want you guys to have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday with my cash stuffing. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.